Hello and welcome everyone to today's reading. Today we are asking Spirit, what is shifting in your life? So what big shift is happening right now? And for today's reading we have three groups for you guys to choose from. Group number one here with this black and white feather. Group number two has this black only feather. And then lastly, group number three has this white feather. Okay, so as I always say, you can pause the video here if you want to meditate on a group and decide which one you feel most drawn to. And then you can just check the description box down below for the timestamps and we can jump in and see what shift is happening in your life right now. Hello and welcome everyone who picked group number one. So for today's reading we are asking Spirit, what big shift is happening in your life? And I have pre-prepared some cards for you guys, so we're going to explore this together. But first off, you guys chose this black and white feather, so I'm immediately drawn to the contrast here. So it feels to me like you guys are moving from one state of being into something very significantly different state of being. So it's going to be a stark contrast in your life once the shift happens. Okay, so I'm just going to put this here for now. So, first off, you guys have an oracle card to represent this shift happening in your life. And for that, you guys have the card Trust. Interesting, and there's like a palm tree on here and a crescent moon, so maybe that is a sign for you guys. And we do have like a desert scene here as well with this little boat. That might just be extra confirmation for you if you've been seeing anything like that. Okay, so next up we have two Moonology cards. Your group got two of them. For that you guys have you're very close to achieving your goal, gibbous moon. Actually I'm going to put this here. And you also got confidence is your key to success, new moon in Leo. Okay. Now you also have another oracle card, and this is the card Dance with Life. Do something to change your energy. Okay. And then I also got you guys some tarot cards. So let's just first lay out everything and then we'll talk about what I'm seeing here. So you guys got the Five of Wands. You got the Page of Wands. And the Ten of Wands. Okay. Then you also got the Queen of Pentacles. You got the Nine of Pentacles. And you got the Eight of Pentacles. Very interesting. And we also have this difference here between the Wands and the Pentacles, so we'll talk about that now. Then you also got the Nine of Cups. You got the Queen of Cups. And you got the Knight of Wands. I don't know if that's fitting in. Okay. Okay, so group number one. As I said here, this is going to be quite a big shift in your life with this black and white feather. Now, all throughout your reading we have this idea of contrast. So as I said here, we have the wands here and then we have all of these pentacles. And with this card it says do something to change your energy. So really the shift is mainly about your energy, your state of being. And about your trust in the universe as being like a co-creator with Spirit and your angels and everyone. So it seems to me like you guys have been on a journey. You have some type of goal in mind. Now this will resonate differently for everyone, but I do think this has something to do with your career. So it could be like a milestone, or it could be starting a business or starting a creative project or a side hustle, or just any type of business venture, or maybe getting a promotion at your job, anything like that. But you have had this goal in mind for a very, very, very long time. And you have been feeling quite despondent. So that's why we have the card Trust here, because you have been losing trust that this goal will come to fruition and that you will be able to reap the benefits of your hard work. Because we see here with this Eight of Pentacles, this is someone that is really putting in effort in their work and they try to master their skills and master their craft. And with this Five of Wands, it has like, it's almost like a chess board on here. I think of that series of the Gambit, Queen of Gambit, I can't remember now. Anyway, but you know, with chess, you really have to be strategic and you have to think a few moves forward. You have to think about the future. And it's like you guys have been making all of these well thought out decisions, trying to almost plan your future. But I think what Spirit is also saying here is that you haven't been putting enough trust into the universe to co-create with you. So you will start to see in this shift in your life how you almost not take a step back, but you have more faith in the universe in helping you make your dreams a reality. Because with this Page of Wands, you know, this man, he has like, or girl, it's a woman actually, she has this big magnifying glass. So you really have been inspecting your life and trying to gather a lot of information about how you can make this dream come true. Maybe you've been reading a lot about like entrepreneurs and how they started their business, or other people's business strategies, anything like that. And with this 10 of Wands, it's really been like this heavy weight for you. It seems like you guys set yourself some type of goal and it felt like you weren't reaching that. And here Spirit is saying you guys just have to have a bit more trust that the universe is working alongside you and that divine timing is at play here. Because as it says here, you're very close to achieving your goal. So what Spirit is really trying to say to you guys in this reading is to not lose hope and faith now. You should still be trusting in the universe. And especially with this card, it's about finding joy in the process as well. And that is part of what you need to shift your energy surrounding this goal. So it might have started as something very enjoyable. You know, you looked forward to going to work and working on this project. But as time went by and you didn't like see the results, you started to lose trust, maybe even in yourself, that this goal will transpire. Because we do have this Nine of Pentacles here as well, and this can often talk about wish fulfillment, especially in the material sense, or like in the business sense or career. And you have been carrying this dream with you for a very long time, but ultimately Spirit is saying the shift will be happening in your life and you will be like this Queen of Pentacles. This is someone very stable, very reliable, a hard worker, but someone with a lot of material wealth as well. So these strategic moves that you guys have been making will benefit you. You just have to have a bit more trust here, and you will find that if you can shift your energy, your outlook on this dream, that's when things will really start to come into alignment. So it feels to me like you guys have been like in this dark period, losing hope and feeling maybe quite alone. Maybe you felt like the universe wasn't on your side, but you will be moving into this light period here where you will start to see the results of your hard work. And also we have this Nine of Cups as a confirmation of this Nine of Pentacles, because that also talks about like this wish fulfillment as well, but especially in an emotional sense. So you will feel how your emotional being will also shift as well once things start to come into alignment in terms of this dream happening. And you know, the 10 of Wands, even though it was a burden working on this and not necessarily seeing results, it was something that you were happy to carry, because you do have like a lot of flowers on here. So it was something beautiful. Spirit and the universe, they recognize that you put in a lot of effort for this. But I think part of the reason that you weren't seeing results is Spirit is saying it was this lack of confidence as well. So maybe you like to tell yourself that you believe in yourself and everything, but really this trust was also not enough trust in yourself, because it says here confidence is your key to success. So you were working very hard, but you didn't really think that this dream could actually happen, and that's where you also have to shift your energy. So it's not only about trusting the universe, it's also about trusting in yourself and trusting that you are able to make the right decisions and that you are able to gather the right information and use it to your advantage. So you're really like at that climatic point here if you think about the structure of a novel or a drama or a story, it's usually like this moment where the action starts to happen, and then everything kind of builds up to this climatic point, and then you have like a slope down to the ending. So you guys are at that climatic point right now where everything feels like a crisis maybe, and you might feel like everything is falling apart, but then you will get this like slope down where it's easy, where you can just dance with life. And I think the French word is like denouement or something like that. So it's when everything comes together, everything is resolved. So that's really what's shifting in your life. You have been maybe in this climax for a very long time, and it felt like such a big burden, and you have been losing your steam and your hope and all of your energy. And I think wasting a lot of time as well on feeling anxious about this dream not happening. And with this Queen of Cups and the Knight of Wands, it really seems to me like this is something you guys are very passionate about, you know. Both the Wands and the Cups can talk about emotions. So there's also like an emotional attachment to this dream, and that's why it's so important for you guys. And I think that's part of the reason why you were actually scared that it wasn't going to happen, and that's also why you didn't have enough trust in yourself and enough confidence in yourself that it would happen. And it's interesting, you know, with this confidence card, it's a new moon. So it could be that for some of you guys this is like a new energy for you as well, the idea of actually trusting in yourself and trusting in your skills. I just want to adjust the light real quick. Okay, so as I was adjusting the light, I just thought about you guys also like adjusting your light, making yourself shine. You know, when you think about Leo, it's this royal energy, and Leo is ruled by the sun, which is also all about light, obviously. And you know, the moon only has light because the sun reflects on it. So I think you guys should be reflecting on where you have been dimming yourself and where you haven't seen your own power, because you guys are like this Queen of Pentacles. You are able to be this stable and wealthy and successful person, but first you have to realize that you have to put this trust in yourself and the universe. So the shift is, if I interpret Spirit's message here, it's going to start with yourself. It's going to start within, where you start to see how you are good enough for this dream and how you have been really putting in the effort, and then you will see how the shift starts to take place in your outer world as well. So you'll start to see how maybe projects come together and maybe loose ends are tied up, and if it's like a business, you start to make money, or if it's an investment, you start to get money back from that as well. So anything like that, this will relate differently for you guys, but it's really about starting to change the energy within, and then you will see how it reflects on the outer world, just like this moon, you know, reflecting the light. And it's interesting with this Queen of Wands here, in her cup we have like this rainbow, and I think about rainbows after storms. So as we mentioned here, it's like you guys are at this climax and going down with the slope now. So it's really like you're at the end of the storm, and Spirit is saying that you just have to have trust that things are going to be getting better from here on out. So now I just want to get some last messages from Spirit. Maybe can we get a better idea of what exactly this dream is that is coming true for group number 1. Let's see. Okay, we have Knight of Wands again. Definitely like a creative project. The Knights could talk about messages, so maybe for some of you guys it is something in communication or like marketing, anything like that. Let's get some more information here. So Spirit, what is this dream? We have Judgment. Some of you could even be in law. Maybe you have like a case that you want to solve or you want to win in court. We also have the Lovers. Definitely something that you feel quite passionate about. And you know, the Lovers talks about decisions. So it's definitely like you guys made a very distinct choice to follow this dream. Maybe you had to sacrifice quite a lot of things. If it's like a side hustle, you had to sacrifice your time and maybe some of your social events you had to say no to because you wanted to put your attention and your time into this project. Let's get one more here. With Judgment, it could also be like some type of spiritual job for some of you guys, because you do have like the third eye image here. But definitely, all in all, it's something you are very passionate about. That's coming through quite strongly. Okay, we also have the Ace of Pentacles. You know, the aces, it can often talk about being like a one man or one woman or one non-binary show. It's sometimes about independence or being on your own. So definitely for a lot of you guys, this is talking about a venture that you wanted to go after on your own. So maybe you were in a partnership and you wanted to take over a company and be the sole owner or sole boss or whatever. Or if it's like a creative project, you wanted to write a book on your own, whereas in the past you were like a ghostwriter for someone. So anything like that, somewhere where you start to take on much more responsibility, and it's definitely something that wasn't necessarily part of a partnership. So for some of you guys, it could be with this lovers card, but if it was a partnership, it's something very close. It's not like a whole group of people that you were working with. It's only like one maybe that helped you on this journey. This could even talk about a mentor. So let's say you were learning from a yoga instructor, and you had like one-on-one lessons, and now you will be going on your own and starting your own classes, anything like that. So there could have been someone here guiding you along this journey, especially with the steps here. It's like you were climbing the steps. But that can also be quite scary, you know, when you start to go at things on your own. So that's also where Spirit is saying you should be having confidence in yourself, and confidence in the fact that you have trained yourself enough, you have gathered enough information, and you are ready for the shift into more responsibility, and a shift into trusting your own skills and your own capabilities, and once again also making strategic choices in the future. And I just want to mention here the Knight of Wands. It can talk about messengers as well, the Knights. So it could be that some of you guys will be receiving a message regarding this dream as well in the coming weeks or months. And I think Spirit is also saying when you receive that information, you should be having confidence in yourself that you are ready to make this move. So don't shy away from this because you are scared of going at it alone. If you feel like you have done enough to prepare yourself for this, then you are ready for that shift. We talked about that idea of changing your energy within before it reflects in your outer world. So that is really what Spirit is also saying for you guys. You have become a master of your craft. You really have been putting in the work here. So you don't have to be afraid of not living up to the standard here. And this Judgment card is also saying to me, you guys shouldn't like prejudge yourself before you have even started to really have this dream come to fruition. So don't back down at the last minute here. You're very close to achieving your goal. So that's just like a little warning, you know. I like to give you the full message that Spirit is giving me. So make sure that you don't give up when you're in that last stretch, after you have put in all this work, and then you're going to be disappointed, and then you might not have enough trust to try something like this in the future again. Okay, so group number 1, that is what I see for you guys. That is what is shifting for you. So definitely some type of dream that is happening here, but it starts with you before it will be displayed in your general life. But I'm very happy for you guys, and I hope you guys have enough trust in yourself and the universe. You are very close to this, so I hope you enjoy this dream that is happening for you, and I wish you guys all of the best. If it resonated, you can give me a comment or a like, or you can subscribe to my channel. And then I hope you guys have a lovely day, and I will see you in the next video soon. Bye. Hello and welcome everyone who picked group number 2. So you guys chose this black feather, and black feathers often talk about protection, so we'll see if this ties into your reading. And today we are asking Spirit, what big shift is happening in your life? So I have prepared a bunch of cards for you, and we'll see what everything says and explore this message together. I'm just going to put your feather aside for now. Okay, so let's jump in and start with your first oracle card. You guys got the card Forgiveness. Interesting. Okay, so let's see first what your other cards say. We have a Moonology card for you guys. You guys got the card A Win-Win Outcome is Forecast, and this is full moon in Libra. Interesting, that idea of balance here. Okay, then you also got the card Starseed, what lights you up? Okay, now for your tarot cards, you guys got the Queen of Wands, and you got the Sun card. Okay, and this is card number 19. 19 might be a sign for you. And then you also got the Three of Wands, the Emperor. This is Aries energy. The Empress, Taurus energy. And the Chariot. And this is Cancer energy. I'm actually going to put this here. Okay, and then lastly you also have the Knight of Swords. I'm going to give this here. Put this here. We also have the Page of Swords. And we have the Queen of Wands again. Okay, that is significant. Sorry, I'm just going to move your cards a bit. Okay, so group number 2, what I'm seeing in your reading is there is going to be a shift in your relationships. So when we think about this Forgiveness card and Libra, you know, Libra is all about balance, as we see with the scales here, obviously. And there was some type of imbalanced relationship, or even relationships in your life. And with this black feather talking about protection, it's like you guys felt you needed to be protected from them, or there was some type of influence that these people or person was having on you. And obviously your scenarios will be different. We're dealing with collective energy here, but I do think for many of you this talks about needing to forgive the other person, even though it could be talking about you as well. And the reason why I mention relationships specifically, now this could be romantic, we do have the divine counterparts here, but Libra is also ruled by Venus, and Venus is seen as like the planet of romance. And with the Emperor and Empress, it can even be parental figures, so some type of family feud happening here. Now it doesn't have to be, obviously, but it's interesting that both of them show up here. And obviously the Empress is also ruled by Venus because it's Taurus. So we have Libra is the masculine aspect of Venus, whereas Taurus is the feminine. So it's interesting, it's almost like there was imbalance here between the feminine and masculine aspects as well. Now this could be in terms of a romantic partner who maybe wronged you. And we do have the Chariot as well, which is Cancer energy. And Cancer also reminds me of home. And it can talk about the mother as well, because Cancer is related to the moon. And often in your birth chart, your moon can show you if you have like issues with women. I know moon Pluto aspects, for example, that could indicate troublesome relationships. But so there was some type of imbalance here in a relationship. You guys will know what it was. And it's like you weren't shining at your brightest, because with this Starseed card, what lights you up? and it wasn't this relationship, obviously. And it's interesting, we have a lot of ideas about light in your reading. We have the Queen of Wands here with the sunflower that is illuminating this card. And we also have the Sun card here, related to Leo and shining this bright light. So there was something that was causing darkness in your life and causing you to like retract into your shell. That's the image that I'm getting here. And I do think you guys might have been keeping yourself in this dark period for longer by not having forgiveness. Maybe even for yourself. Maybe you acted in a certain way in this relationship that contributed to the imbalance, and you maybe didn't want to own up to your contribution. This will resonate differently. Only take what messages resonate. But it could be like sharp words with this Knight of Swords. The swords do talk about communication and stuff like that. And especially with the Knight, it's swift moving energy, and we see it's a woman on here with this big sword. So it might be that you guys have quite a sharp tongue. Now, obviously, it's not necessarily talking about you guys not being warranted to give backlash or to talk back to whoever this person is or people are. But I do think it has been hurting you as well. Maybe that's something that you don't like to do, but you felt like you needed to protect yourself. So maybe one of the only ways that you could do that was by giving them your 2 cents, your peace of mind. Now, with the Queen of Wands here, this can talk about like an aspect of your awareness, the Court cards. So this is someone that is very fiery, very creative, but often also it could be too rash even. Like you act too quickly sometimes. If you think about a flame as well, sometimes it makes like this quick spark and then it fizzles out when something burns. So there could be something here surrounding angry outbursts or just making too quick decisions. And this could either be you or this person, but it was some type of mental state. It could even be, actually, you guys, what I'm getting here, Spirit is saying this was a trigger for you. These people or person triggered you in some way and made you act out in ways that you didn't like. So this will be shifting in your life. Either you will be working on the shadow aspect and learning to deal with those triggers and learning to regulate your emotions better, or this other person will be changing some of their behavior, depending on the situation. But either way, there will be more balance coming into your life, and you won't feel like you need to protect yourself all of the time. So let's use an example here. If you guys know narcissistic behavior, you often have narcissists trying to gaslight you. So they would say like, you never said that, or whatever. So you guys might be finding ways to deal with that, or to come to realize that their actions don't actually say anything about you. It's saying a lot more about them. That's just one example, but you guys will be finding that mentally or emotionally you guys are a lot more balanced, because you have either, sorry for the traffic, you have either learned to deal with these triggers in a much better way, or this person has changed their actions or the way that they show up for you. So if this was like a romantic partner that wronged you in some way, they will be coming forward trying to balance this relationship again. The Knight of Swords could also talk about swift movement of someone coming in, so depending on your scenario. Now with the Sun, this does talk about happiness, but the Sun card can also talk about vulnerabilities. So as I said here, this could be talking about a trigger. So that it could even be that there was just like some person in your life that knew exactly the right way to trigger you guys and to like push your buttons and make you explode with anger or irritation or anything like that. And I think some of these people, if it's like a narcissistic parent, for example, they They might have gotten joy almost out of seeing you angry, seeing you irritated. And so when you start to shift your reactions and shift your energy, you will find that they cannot get that joy out of this experience anymore because you are not reacting in the way that they want you to. So you will be taking back your energy here and taking it away from them. And you will find that even just by doing this, they will have to change their actions because they're not receiving the result that they want. And it's interesting, the Three of Wands, often it can talk about exploration or growth, but I think this is, what Spirit is saying is that for you guys, this is sort of talking about an emotional growth here. You guys will really be growing in terms of how you react in situations and how you see relationships even, and how you see relationship dynamics, especially with the Libra again. And if this was someone that wronged, you will be able to look at it like the situation that happened from a very objective point of view. You won't be making any emotional decisions. You will, I'm not saying you shouldn't be trusting your intuition, obviously we always say you have to trust your intuition, but it's not like you will be making choices without having the full picture here. So you will be having the ability to be empathetic and sympathetic without giving your power away. So if this was like a romantic partner that did you wrong, you will be able to calmly give them your peace of mind and tell them how you felt in that situation. And you will be able to give them forgiveness without letting them walk all over you again. So that's like the type of energy that we are dealing with. Obviously, I can't give you specific examples because you guys have different scenarios happening here. But with the Chariot, this is going to be quite swift. So I think this is happening very soon for you guys. And it might start with some type of conversation here with the Page of Swords. But it could even come from your side, because the pages are often, they begin things, they start something. And we do have the Queen of Wands here again. So it could be that you are like a catalyst for this shift in your life. Maybe you say something very specific that triggers, not like an argument, but maybe just like a heated discussion where some of these problems in these relationships start to come to light. Again, linking in with this idea of light here. And we do have another cat on here. And now obviously this is it's purple and gold, but it does remind me of a black cat again, which is also about protection. So Spirit is also reminding you guys that you are protected in this situation. So you don't have to be afraid if some type of conflict comes up, because you will be able to stand up for yourself. And if it is, this is just a very specific message. If you are in a household situation where this is talking about your relationship with your parents, with the Chariot and this Three of Wands, some of you guys could be moving to a different location, which would take you out of this difficult situation. And you will find that once you aren't living with them anymore, you might be able to have more forgiveness for them, and you might be able to have a better relationship. People often say that you have a better relationship with your parents once you move out. That's just like a very specific message for you guys. But even if it's talking about a different type of relationship, some of you could be moving location. But also just, you know, with the Chariot, it's going to be quite swift, this shift in your life. So that's just like the general meaning here. I actually want to get some more information here. So Spirit, can you maybe give us an idea if this will be, how will group number 2 actually make the shift? What will help them to make the shift in their life? The Page of Pentacles. And this girl is like studying here. So as I said here, if this was someone that was triggering you, it's like you will gather information about how to deal with these type of people. So if it's like narcissistic people, you will read up about narcissists and how to handle them. Let's see. Okay, that's way too many. Okay, Spirit, for group number 2, please. How will they deal with this problem, with these relationships? And maybe the triggers. Okay, we have the Hanged Man. Interesting Pisces energy here. I really feel like you guys have been holding on for dear life here. You might have felt like you were drowning here. We have the King of Cups. Again, that idea of balance here. Interesting. You really will be regulating your emotions. And I think studying your own behavior as well, and studying how maybe you were keeping yourself in a situation. For example, if this is like a household situation and you had the opportunity to move and you didn't take it, you will find that making this decision now to remove yourself from this scenario, immediately your emotional well-being will shift as well. So it's like you were maybe keeping yourself stuck, and that's where the forgiveness for yourself also comes in. Let's get one more here. One more card, please, Spirit. Okay, we have Knight of Swords again. Yes, okay. So with the sword here, cutting off people, you might find that some people you forgive, but that still doesn't mean that you have to have them in your life. And I just saw we have the Hermit here at the back of the deck. This is Virgo energy. But also, you know, the Hermit is someone very wise. And often it talks about like isolation or being on your own. So I think you guys will also come to realize that it's better to have like a smaller circle of friends, or even spend some time on your own, than it is to be caught up in toxic relationships. So you will be making very swift moves in your life to cut off some of these people if you find that they don't want to help you to bring balance into the situation. So Spirit is saying, yes, some of these relationships will balance out on their own, because you will change your behavior, and in response these people will change their behavior as well. But in other scenarios in your life, you will find that you balancing yourself doesn't impact this relationship at all, and that's where you have to cut these people off. They are no longer giving you any benefit in your life, and you have to think about your own well-being, because otherwise you're keeping yourself stuck here like this Hanged Man. You are just swaying there. And you know, this is Pisces, and Pisces often it makes me think of living in a dream world, being a bit out of touch with reality, maybe not wanting to face reality. So that's what you guys will be doing here. You'll be taking a very critical look at your relationships, including your own way of showing up in relationships. And now obviously this isn't like casting shade on you guys. I'm just giving the message as Spirit is giving it to me. But we all have negative ways of showing up in relationships, and it's especially in relationships where our shadow comes out. So Spirit is saying you should look at where you have been showing up negatively in your relationships, and also where the other people were showing up negatively, and have forgiveness for them and for yourself, but also realize where you should be removing people from your life. And so the shift is partly your own doing, this big shift in your life, but it's all about realization, and realizing that you should be having a more balanced life here. So it's like a interplay between you and the universe. And also when we think about interplay, that also links with the idea of relationships. So co-creating this balance, that's what it's all about. Okay, so group number 2, I'm going to leave your reading there. I just wanted to do a quick reading today. I hope it resonated. If it did, you can let me know in the comments down below. I love to hear your stories. And then if you want to support me and my channel, you can give this video a like and subscribe. And then I hope you guys have a wonderful day. I will see you in the next video soon. Bye. Hello and welcome everyone who picked group number 3. And today we are asking Spirit, what big shift is happening in your life? So I pre-prepared some cards for you guys. We're going to see what your message is today together. But you guys chose this white feather, and I always think of new beginnings when I look at white feathers, and it makes me think of purity and like innocence and just like a fresh start. So we'll see how this ties in with your reading. I'm just going to put it aside for now. So let's see what your first card is. You have the card Security. Oh, that's very nice. Okay. This could be Security in terms of someone providing it for you, or it could be financial security, but we'll see what happens. Okay, so I'm first going to lay out your cards and then we'll start to look at your messages. So, from the Moonology deck, you guys got the card, A Time to Give Rather Than Take, New Moon in Virgo. Interesting. Okay, and you also got Hold Your Vision, Fixed Moon. And Answer the Call. What is your soul calling you to do? Very interesting energy. Okay. Just gonna, sorry, your feather is going to be out of the screen now. Okay, then for your tarot cards, you guys got the Devil card, card number 15. 15 or 6 might be a sign for you. You also got the Hanged Man, and this is card number 12. That also might be a sign, or number 3. And this is Pisces energy. And we have Capricorn, or Scorpio sometimes. Okay, then we also have the 2 of Pentacles. We have the 10 of Pentacles. And we have the 7 of Cups. Interesting. And then lastly, you guys have the Hierophant. This is Taurus energy. You have the 2 of Cups. And you have the 7 of Swords. Okay. Okay, so group number 3, what I'm seeing here specifically, there was some confusion in your life, some scenario or situation that was causing you a lot of confusion, especially with this Hanged Man. I just mentioned this in group number 2. The Hanged Man is linked with Pisces, and often it can talk about, it's almost it's almost like being delusional. No hate on Pisces, I have a lot of Pisces placements. But it's sometimes being out of touch with reality, or not wanting to face reality. If you think about Neptune as well, which is like the modern ruler of Pisces. Pisces is actually ruled by Jupiter. But it's like this idea of imagination and fantasy, and looking at life through rose-colored glasses often. Now Pisces is a mix of all of the signs, and that's also why it's like everything together. It's not like one single thing that you can clearly have boundaries around or clearly see. So there was a situation in your life that was causing you confusion, especially with the 7 of Cups as well. It's like you were presented with a lot of opportunities or choices or routes that you can take in life. Now, it will depend on your situation what this is talking about specifically, but for a lot of you, this is talking about family or career. So like relationships in terms of maybe marriage or something. But some of these choices were very tempting with this Devil card, but maybe they weren't exactly in line with maybe your ethics or your morals or the lifestyle that you wanted to have, or just the way that you wanted to live. So let's use an example. You were presented with a career opportunity that would get you a lot of money, and maybe like very many benefits. You would be able to travel the world, or go to conferences, or like cocktail evenings, anything like that. But this was a trap, you know, with this spider web here, and even with the cherries, it's talking about temptation. It's like they wanted to trap you because you knew that maybe the business that you would be working with have some shady dealings going on. Maybe there are some corruption or nepotism or anything like that. But still, you were tempted by this opportunity because it presented itself as like this wonderful thing. You know, like the forbidden fruit, that kind of idea. And this wasn't like the only opportunity. There were quite a few with this 7 of Cups. And so you felt stuck with this Hangman because you were like stuck between a rock and a hard place. With this 2 of Pentacles, it's trying to find your balance here. You weren't sure which way to go. And really it was about your own security as well here. It's like what would be benefiting you the most. And in some sense, these opportunities would be able to provide you with a sense of security, but it would be a false sense of security, because if it's like a shady company, then in that moment you will be benefiting from them. But the problem is with these types of opportunities is that in the future you might not be their number one anymore. They might find someone to take your place, and then you will just be discarded, so it's not like a long-term type of security. It might only bring you wealth or luxuries for a short amount of time, and that's where this temptation comes in, and that's where you guys had to not be caught up in this fantasy world and caught up in this fantasy idea that was presented to you, because you had to face reality. And that's why we have this here, a time to give rather than take. New moon in Virgo. Now, Virgo is ruled by Mercury, so it's about thinking, and Virgo can be quite critical. I know that's a stereotype, but it's really looking at the detail here. So you guys had to see how this opportunity that was presenting itself was not actually going to be benefiting you in the long run. And that's why you had to not take that opportunity here. You had to maybe put in effort more in a different opportunity, which might not bring you all of this wealth and luxury presented here with this devil card, but in the long run it would be providing you with a lot more security, because it would be something stable and it would be something ethical. Now, this is just one example. It could talk about relationships as well, Maybe you were in a very stable relationship with this Ten of Pentacles. It can often talk about like a great family life, and you were presented with someone that wanted to start some type of physical relationship with you, for example. And now this could be like a co-worker or a friend or someone you meet on a cruise. But you were presented with this opportunity, and maybe for a moment you were confused and you felt stuck. You didn't know which way to go. But we're talking about a shift here, so this could even be something that's still going to be happening, or it's happening right now. But you guys are going to be taking a very critical look at this decision that you have to make, and you're going to have to make the right choice here to have an outcome that will be providing you with security. And we do have the card here, answer the call. What is your soul calling you to do? So Spirit is really saying here, listen to your intuition, as we always say, but really be honest with yourself as well, and take the time to think about this. Don't make any quick decisions. Excuse me. And with this, hold your vision here as well. So really take into consideration, what do you want to happen in your future? What is your image of your future? So don't be swayed by all of these other false promises that is presented to you, whether this is a person presenting themselves or a business opportunity, anything like that, or like a pyramid scheme. Really take into account, what do you want for your future? What is going to provide you with security in your future? And I often talk about this card as talking about family lineage for me, because of the cave paintings. So it's like, what will you be leaving behind? That's what you have to think about in this scenario. And with the Virgo, Virgo is linked with the maiden, that like archetype. So it's someone young, and it often talks about a woman that is like free of responsibilities. She's not like tied down to a person. So obviously, you guys are free will. You have the choice to make. You can choose by yourself. Spirit is not going to make the choice for you. But Spirit is saying you should be making the right choice. So with this fixed moon, fixed energy is not something that really shifts easily. So you do have an idea of what you want. But you have to take your focus back to that idea. And realize that you have been looking at your life maybe through this rose-colored glasses and not taking into account what it is that you truly want. Now with the Hierophant, this can talk about institutions or things like marriages. So this is a very specific message, but for some of you guys, this could either talk about you being in a very loving marriage, but being presented with an opportunity to cheat and having to make a choice about that. Or it could be being caught up in a marriage that is not so happy and needing to make a decision about leaving this marriage. Now, obviously, that could also be a very confusing situation because there is a lot of factors to take into consideration. Maybe there's even like children here. We did talk about this 10 of Pentacles of being like this family life. So it's very muddy and murky, this situation. So that's where you have to have this Virgo energy of looking at the details, really taking everything into consideration and not staying in this Hanged Man energy feeling stuck. It's interesting, we have this like zipper here and behind it is this cloudy sky, and in the front we have all of these leaves. So it's like you have to take off like this layer that you have been looking through at life. It could even be that you've been like extending this period of confusion by not making a decision here, and maybe even trying to balance something. Maybe for some of you guys, this is not like judgment or anything, but maybe some of you have been entertaining some of these other options, whether this is business or relationship or whatever, with this Two of Pentacles, and you might not have wanted to choose between the two, but Spirit is saying that you're going to have to choose some way or another. And with this shift will depend on what choice you make. But Spirit is really coming through with a warning in this reading here to not be swayed by temptations and really make a very objective choice here and look at what it is that you truly want. What is your soul calling you to do? So listen to that. Take the time to think about that. And you know, with this fire here, the fire is what shows us these paintings. If there isn't a fire, if there isn't light, you cannot see that. So you have to use your own intuition and your own mind to really light up what is truly happening here. So bring what is in the darkness to light and look at this very objectively. I have mentioned that, but just to reiterate. And with the Two of Cups, this talks about partnerships. So as I said here, it could either be business or it could be a relationship, but there's more than one person involved here. So even though you're the one with the confusion, there's other people to take into consideration. And with the Seven of Swords, it's really the sneaky energy. So maybe there's no one really that knows about the confusion that you're facing. Or it could even be like, if this is this business venture, these people know that they have sneaky business, but they are trying to sway you with all of these false promises and ideas. They're putting on a show here. And even if it's like someone in a, like a romantic sense that tries to get your attention, you know, we often forget people like to put their best foot forward and they make a lot of promises in the beginning. You know, it's like a honeymoon phase and that whole idea of love bombing and everything. So be very aware that the state that your relationship with that person or that business is in at a certain point isn't necessarily talking about the state that it would be in the long term. So that's why we have Spirit saying here, think about the long term. Think about what you want in your future. Because a lot of these things are temporary. If you think about like a feast, you know, food, it only stays fresh for so long. You have to eat it now. And then you won't have it in the future again. So, or like spending your money on clothes. Okay, great, you have like this instant gratification now, but in the long run, that's not going to benefit you really. You're not going to be happy because you spent thousands of dollars, or I don't know what your money is in your country, but like on clothes or makeup or whatever. But that isn't part of your actual plan for the future. So the shift is really about you guys having clarity about what it is that you want. And it starts with you taking a critical and detailed look at all of the choices that you're represented with, and looking at what would give you security in the long run. So I want to get some more information here, actually, just to end off your reading. So Spirit, can you tell us a bit more about what are they being swayed by? What is this other options that is trying to take away their energy. Okay, we have the Ten of Wands. So this person is really juggling a lot here. I do think for a lot of you guys, you could have been caught up in this already. So maybe that was a bad choice that you made, and now you want to remove yourself from this situation. We also have the Knight of Pentacles. Okay, let's get 2 more here. Okay, 2 of Cups again. Yes, for a lot of you, this could be talking about a relationship as well, a toxic relationship, where this person maybe presented themselves as like a prince or a princess, but then they turned out to be more like the devil. And we have the Ace of Cups. Okay. There's definitely emotional investment here as well, whether this is business or personal. You might have had a lot of high hopes, and maybe some of your dreams will be crushed because you thought it was going to play out one way and then it didn't. And now it's this Ten of Wands energy of feeling this burden, trying to juggle all of these things. Especially if you're like entertaining more than one love interest. Which, no judgment, I mean, sometimes people have feelings for more than one person, but Spirit is really saying that you have to make this choice because it's not benefiting you here. And when you think about this Nine of Pentacles here, it's like this graph, like a mathematic graph here, of the Y and the X axis. And this person is playing with this Rubik's Cube, so trying to solve this. So you guys have to solve your future. You have to think about how you want this graph to go. Should it go up? Should it go down? What, like parabola? You know, really, how do you want your life to grow from this point forward? So if you wanted to go up, which choice would that be? Which person or which opportunity would be giving you the space to grow? And, you know, with the Rubik's Cube, I know there's all of these hacks online, like how you can solve them. So it's almost like you guys have to hack your life. You have to realize that there's certain moves that you should be making to solve this. It's like a pattern almost. And even when I think about pattern, it could be like relationship patterns that you have coming into toxic relationships. Maybe like codependent, or maybe you have like a tendency to cheat or be promiscuous or whatever. So that is something that you also have to solve in your life. Okay, that is quite interesting. And we do have like this big pentacle, yes. So I think this reminds me of the Ace of Pentacles actually. So it's really about new energy in the 3D world and having to do this by yourself. I mentioned this in a different group as well. The aces can talk about being like a one woman or one man or one non-binary show. You know, you go at it alone. This is something that you have to decide here. And once again, just to end off your reading, this is really saying, what is your soul calling you to do? So listen to your intuition. Really tune in with that, and try to drown out the noise of life in general that is trying to influence you. Don't listen to all of these other influences. So this shift is something that you will be making on your own. But I really get like Ace of Swords energy with your reading, even though it didn't show up here. But it's like that clarity hitting you guys about what it truly is that you desire in life and what will truly bring you security and happiness in your future. Okay, so group number 3, it was a quick little reading here, but I hope it resonated with you guys. If it did, you can let me know in the comments down below. Obviously, I only mentioned like 2 specific scenarios. This will resonate differently. You can take the message how it resonates. But if you want to support me and my channel, you can give this video a like and subscribe. And then I hope you guys have a wonderful day. I will see you in the next video soon. Bye.